In 1854, Smith & Wesson patented their first ever lever gun, the volcanic lever action. Honoring that historic milestone, the classic American lever gun is reborn as the Smith & Wesson 1854 series. Jeff Reynolds is hunting with open sights using a high-vis front sight on top of his Smith & Wesson 1854 on a chilly December morning.
A lot of activity. There's a crossing just down from us. A lot of deer, a lot of oddhead crossing, a lot of pigs down there. So this is going to be, like Wade always says, target's opportunity. So no telling us what we might see, but we're ready for just about anything. On this hunt, we were using a brand new to me gun. It's a Smith & Wesson Model 1854 in a 44 caliber. It's a lever action rifle, open sights. We put a high vis sight on it where it was a little better for me to see. But neat thing about this was this kind of brings back old memories. First gun I had when I was a kid, first deer rifle I had was a lever action 30-30 with open sights. So I was looking forward to getting to use this gun. I think we're ready. Let's go get in the stand.
The Smith & Wesson 1854 incorporates the feel of their revered large frame revolver's smooth, crisp action and clean craftsmanship, keeping it robust and tough to stand up for use in the field.
Crossing right down here below us. Tracks all over the place, obviously, and then we got a cornfield running across the creek right there, so there should be something coming in here to get some meat. This is looking pretty promising. A couple small bucks, a spike, and I think a little fork horn, but you know, nothing mature, nothing we were after, but still a fun set. I mean, you could tell the rut was going on. There was a lot of chasing going on. Them little bucks were chasing them does around. All I know is that sucker smelled us, because he stuck his nose straight up there, turned around, went the other way. You know, expectations were high. We just knew if we spent enough time there that eventually there was going to be a shooter come through. Wade, we need a box blind with a heater. We're soft. I'm kind of an old school guy. You know, I like to watch a lot of Westerns, and like you see the rifleman, he had a lever action rifle and he'd twirl it around. I don't really do that, but just the lever action. It's just a cool looking rifle to me. The neat thing about this rifle is it's the first lever action I've ever seen that had a safety on it. So when you actually cock it back, it has a safety right underneath the hammer, just right in front of the hammer, that you can put on or take off, take off when you get ready to shoot, but you can put the safety on, so if you want to leave it cocked, you can leave it cocked. It's got a safety just like most other guns. So that was really cool about that, a really safe feature. But a lever action to me is just great for kids or beginners, beginning hunters. When you take that shot, it's not like a semi-automatic where it puts another shell in. You have to ratchet it yourself to get another shell in the chamber, and just, I don't know, just something cool about a lever action that I like to hunt with. I put some high-vis sights on the end of this gun, and that's perfect for days like this, when it's, it's foggy or early in the morning, late in the evening when it gets hard to see, especially for somebody like me getting older and your eyes are not as good. Hearing everything come to life that morning, we heard turkeys gobble, which is kind of rare in the fall. I mean, we do hear them down here in Texas quite a bit in the fall, gobble. Axis roaring, heard them off in the distance, and it's like, man, no, this is what I love right here, just hearing all these sounds. And then deer started to show up. It's middle of the day, that's kind of when we've been seeing most of the pictures in the middle of the day. It felt right. Something about it, I just felt like, man, if we can just spend enough time in this stand. Didn't know what was going to show up. The trail cameras, every day we'd look at them, whether they come through at night or when we wasn't there, you would just see different bucks and different deer trolling through there. I'm sitting there looking, and I look behind that cottonseed feeder, and I see some legs step out. The first thing I seen was just some really dark black hocks, and I'm like, that's a buck, and that's probably a mature buck. And he eases up through there, just being real skittish, you know, like an old wary buck does. And I finally seen his horns, and I'm like, man, that's a decent deer right there. And he got up there where I could see him good, and I told Gentry, I was like, that's a shooter. If he gives us the opportunity, we're gonna take a shot at him. Something was just making him a little bit skittish. But he finally come on up there, and something spooked him, and he turned around and he run back in the brush behind us, and wasn't no time, he come right back out. You know, I'm asking, you know, if you got him, are you ready for me to shoot? And he gives me the thumbs up, and you know, I'm one that when they get in there, I'm not about waiting too long. I got on that rail and got steady and pulled the trigger. When I squeezed that trigger, I felt really good. I mean, I felt like I was right where I needed to be. You know, you still never know. I don't wanna go too quick. I wanna give him time. Oh man, thanks brother. Thanks for coming with me. Man, it's a cold morning in the middle on this stand where my feet are. I had my feet dangling a while ago because they were freezing. Yeah. Right through here, there's blood right there.
Yeah. Oh, that's long.
That's what I think.
That's long. I mean, that's where I thought you hit him when you sent me the video.
Yep.
That's long right there.
And we don't go 50, 60 yards. I look up and I see that white belly laying there. Boy, the excitement starts. Right there, wait. He didn't go very
I see
far.
a white belly. I mean, that is like right where mine died. Mine died right over here.
I'm telling you, he's within 20 yards of where yours did. Everything happened the way it was supposed to. And that's the main thing I want when I hunt. Whenever I shoot an animal, I don't want them to have to suffer. And that deer didn't go very far, and got a nice buck, got meat in the freezer.
Dude, congratulations, buddy.
Thanks,
That's
man.
awesome.
Oh, that is
That big old head
so
on that
cool.
deer.
Yeah, look at his hocks. That's the first thing I seen
bet.
when he come out with them dark hocks. I mean, he is, look how
Yes.
black them are.
See, I look at that, and a lot of those guys talk about when they get real dark up there and stained up there too, and that.
Yep.
I mean, you're getting to a 4-year-old or older deer, which is what we like to shoot.
Right. I was telling Gentry, this has probably become one of my favorite guns. This is so much fun to shoot. And like we talked about earlier, you know, me and you was talking about this when you was telling me about hunting with it. I was like, this brings me back to whenever I was a kid. First rifle I ever hunted with was a lever action 30-30.
I remember sneaking my dad's lever action 30-30 out one time because I wanted to shoot it and learn how to shoot it and everything.
Yep.
You know, ever since then, I've been enamored with them.
Yep. It's cool. It's a fun gun to hunt with. Just, I'm telling you, you talked about putting this high-vis sight on there. That makes a huge difference because me and you ain't getting no younger. When I look through that sight, well, that thing just glowing down there, that makes it a lot easier. But, and the setup too, you know, that's one thing you always talk about. You know, hunt what you're comfortable with and don't try to do more than what you can do. So when you talked about hunting this spot right here,
Yeah.
I mean, we knew it was going to be like what we would shoot. Well, you shot a crossbow with it. Wasn't going to be a long shot. You know, it's going to be something I was comfortable with. And
they're comfortable in here. You got all this. They chased it. This is, I mean, it's almost within days. Last year when we were down here, the
Yep.
rut was going on,
Yep.
and this spot heated up, and we both had confidence in it, and it paid off.
Wade is firing the Smith & Wesson 1854, sighting in the Trijicon optic scope. This firearm has strategically flattened spaces on the fore-end with M-LOK slots, which allows you to mount grips, lights, or lasers, and have them sit flush against the rifle. Want to learn more about the update to this historic lever-action gun? Hear it from Smith & Wesson themselves.
The first ever lever-action rifles. This is our Model 1854 series. We have two variants. The one I'm holding here is our stainless steel synthetic model, chambered in 44 Rem mags, got a 9+1 capacity, 19¼ barrel. It's threaded if you want to run it suppressed. Out of the box, it comes with this 4 3/4 Picatinny rail if you want to run a red dot or a scope. Also comes with excess sights. We got a ghost ring rear sight and a classic gold bead front sight. Great sight picture. This particular model is M-LOK compatible, so we have M-LOK slots at 3, 6, and 9 o'clock if you want to put a light or a laser on it. We have some textured grip panels on the fore end and the grip here. Large loop lever and a flat face trigger. This is side loading gate and side ejection. This particular model here runs for $12.79. We also have our limited edition high-grade walnut right here. So same feature set as the stainless steel. Aside from the M-LOK compatibility there, but you see this high-grade walnut stock and fore end. We also have a PVD finish on the barrel and receiver here. We're doing a limited run of this model, 1,854 units. MSRP is $34.99. Both great for hunting, home defense, and also a piece of history.
Wade's on a hunt with his Smith & Wesson Model 1854, mounted with a Trijicon scope.
Way cold, and we slept in a lot longer. We probably should have. So we're up here. We're going to be hunting with the 44 caliber Smith & Wesson lever action rifle. So I've got a Trijicon scope on top. It's a perfect setup for this type of deal. And I've going back to my childhood days, used to sneak my dad's 30-30 out. Lever action to go hunting in Oklahoma. Now I've got my own. Pretty excited to see what happens. We've got the wind right now coming down this creek, hitting us perfect for anything that comes out this flat in front of us. So pretty excited. There's been a lot of deer coming in here.
Innovation never stops at Trijicon. With more aiming solutions than ever, Trijicon is sure to have a scope that's perfect for you.
We're here at SHOT Show unveiling some of our new products. This is one here in our Credo HX in a 1:10 by 28. So this scope is built on a 34mm tube, so you get over 100 MOA of adjustment. You see we have an exposed return to zero elevation adjuster here, so you can dial for distance, but this is an MOA adjuster. We also have an MOA-based reticle in here, which is a segmented circle, but you also have MOA drops on this, as well as some wind holds. And really why this is designed as an LPVO, for competition or personal protection. It also has applications within the hunting world. You've got true 1X on the low end, so you have a really wide field of view, with 10X on the top end or 10X magnification for longer range. So got a real, diverse application here in the reticle. It is in a first focal plane, so your subtensions are going to hold true any magnification you're at. In terms of illumination, it's a 10 setting illumination, 5 red, 5 green. So there you go, Credo HX. For more, see Trijicon.com.
A triumph of over 170 years of craftsmanship, the Smith & Wesson Model 1854 is a lever-action rifle with a timeless design. This rifle also offers the versatility to mount a sight that works for you.
So when I got here, the Smith Wesson lever action, the model we have, does not have our high-vis sight on it. The new Stealth series does, but our sight, the sight we use on Stealth series, fits on these. So we went ahead and changed out. We got a couple 1854s here, and went ahead and changed out those front sights and put our Lightwave H3 tritium fiber optic sight on them so we could use those. Big advantage when you're hunting, especially in and out of blinds and low light. I got a Smith Wesson 1854 lever action here. We're going to upgrade the front sight with a Lightwave H3 from High-Vis. So this has a factory brass bead front sight on it, a couple screws to attach it. Pretty simple installation. So here I have our Lightwave H3 front sight. This sight has fiber optic and a tritium source in here, so you get 24-hour illumination. Also has a white outline. This is a great upgrade, gives you a bright sight picture in all light conditions. Let's go ahead and install it. Just has a couple screws, so that's a pretty simple installation. So we got that installed, went down to the range, sighted in, took a few shots at about 40 yards and then stretched it out to 80 and got it sighted in. So felt pretty comfortable with shots, up to 100, 120 yards. Just stay within the limitations of what I think a 44 Magnum is capable of at reasonable range. We also had a 629 Smith that we sighted in and equipped with High-Vis sights, put a front and rear sight on, and also put a Lightwave H3 tritium fiber optic front sight on that as well. And if we set up in an area where we're going to get some really close shots, inside of 40 yards for sure, 20, 25 yards, then I consider using that pistol as well. All right, so we've upgraded the front sight on this 1854 Smith lever action with a Lightwave H3 front sight, tritium fiber optic. It's going to really improve your sight picture, give you fast target acquisition. And this works perfectly paired with the factory rear peep sight. This is a great combination. Yeah, they're all right behind this, right on the other side. Whether we're just solely sitting in a blind or doing spot and stalk, that lever action at the ranges, at modest ranges, say 50, 75 yards, even 100 or more, but certainly in the up to 75 yard range. The lever action is a great tool. They're so handy. Follow-up shots are very fast, easy to acquire targets quickly. They're very short, lightweight. The 1854, I'm actually very, very impressed with the ergonomics of that gun. It's got a very small frame. I like the front handguard is not extremely large. You can hold the rifle with one hand easily. The balance point when it's loaded is almost perfect. The lever is a slightly oversized lever, I would say, but it allows you to fit a glove in there. On this last day we were hunting, it's a little bit cold down here, and I was actually wearing gloves on my hand that I was operating the lever with, and I had no problem both fitting a average weight hunting glove in the lever and in the trigger guard and functioning that gun repeated shots and follow-up shots with it. I'm really impressed with that gun. It just handles well, cycles great, and it's got a really smooth action.
Lever action, Smith & Wesson 1854. How fast was that to be able to work that lever action too? That was awesome. Give me some. Good job.